If you're in the rideshare business, I don't care if you're an Uber or a Lyft driver, the worst thing you can do is chase rides. What do I mean by chasing rides? I mean sitting at the airport, sitting in an empty parking lot for hours on end for one little ride. That's the worst thing you can do, especially if you're trying to make it a business. So in today's video, I'm going to show y'all how to change your mindset from chasing rides to attracting high quality clients that you can add to your clientele. So with that being said, let's dive right into the video. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is T Jack. I've been in the rideshare business for 1 year and I already scaled a fleet. I own 3 SUVs and I have 3 drivers. Background come from truck driving and I got a high client retention rate, meaning I convert clients 99% of the time. Now, this is where a lot of people mess up because I get a lot of people that be like, man, it's worth waiting at the airport for, a ride. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. The worst thing you can do as a rideshare driver, especially if you're trying to make it a business, is waste 4 to 5 hours at the airport. You got to learn that time is very important. So if you have a spare 4 to 5 hours to waste, that means you're doing something wrong. So waiting at the airport is a no-no. Waiting in the empty parking lot is a no-no. You can use that time to start posting on social media, which is what's going to separate you from all the other drivers. A lot of drivers not on social media. So you showing people who you are and what you do actually helps you able to get more eyeballs. Like I said, this is for if you want to make it a business. If you're just looking to hustle for a quick hustle, I'm not talking about you. Wait at the airport. I don't care. Also accepting every ride. The red side of chasing rides is just typically people with a scarcity mindset. So if you're waiting for rides on, hours on end, accepting whatever ride you can get, that's all scarcity mindset shit, and that leads to drivers being unsuccessful 99.9% of the time. Not only that, but you don't even get to control your own income narrative. The rideshare platforms do. So why would you want them to control it? Which is why I did something about it, because I'm like, nah, bro, they taking too much money. If you do the math on how much money you make per week, times that by 2 or divide that by 2, and Uber took that other part. So if you're averaging 2,500, 3,000 a week, guess who took the other half? You could have been the one at 5 to 6K a week, but no, Uber took that. So it's all about controlling your own income narrative, and you sitting at the airport, you sitting at an empty parking lot waiting on a ride is not going to help you do that. You need to start getting on social media, letting people know who you are, what you do. You need to start going to luxury businesses, start networking with high net worth individuals or people that have access to high net worth individuals. And you need to start building relationships with them. That's the best way to do it. That helps you create multiple streams of income and it helps you scale very quickly, especially if you want to be a fleet owner. Now, here's the thing about social media that a lot of drivers don't understand. And I'm kind of like the first driver to really put myself out there. Y'all wouldn't be watching me if y'all didn't know who I was, if it hadn't been for me putting myself out there. So the reason you want to get on social media as a driver that want to actually make this a business, because you build visibility trust. People like, okay, he keep popping up on my For You. Okay, we see he got black car service. Now when an event pop up in your city, your market, they're going to be like, I'm going to book Ryan. I'm going to book Ryan. We see him on TikTok all the time talking about his black car service. So we actually want to be fancy this week. Or, it might be some high net worth individuals that got connections to people that's on the lower end that might see that video and be like, hey, Ryan, he offered black car service. Let's reach out to him. And then they'll recommend your services to them. So social media just build trust. It's a bunch of different ways I can explain it. But the point is, if you're a driver, you want to make this a business, you want to make a lot of money, start posting on social media. Because even if you're a solo driver, you don't own a company, you don't own a fleet, you posting yourself out there, let people know who you are, what you do, and you're able to start getting some eyeballs towards you. So post videos specifically about the type of service you have to offer, show your SUV, talk about the business. It's multiple different ways you can post content, but point of it is start posting content. This shows people like, okay, this guy does this, and it helps you not just build, but also scale. So people that actually want to book from you or book with you, they're not just booking a ride, they booking you for you. Like, for example, people will book with me and they be like, oh man, you cool. We want to help you out. We see you an entrepreneur, you trying to come up. So We're not even booking because we need the service. We just want to book because we want to help you out. So get on social media. That's the moral of the story. Get on social media. Focus on strategic network building. I always say it, high income tax bracket people, because those are the people that could actually afford your services. And whenever you deal with them, you're not really going to get a whole lot of rebuttals. It's always going to be like, okay, cool. They're going to want to book you, pay for your service, but they also going to be expecting that quality service as well. So that helps. Also, you offering good quality services leads to referrals. So you servicing one good client could also add on 10 or 15 clients, because word of mouth get around. That's still a thing. That's still a way of marketing. It's just like you passing out your business card. So that's why I always say, hey, it's important to have good quality service. It's the best way I can put it. High value people talk. They gossip, just like low middle class people. So if you're in the luxury business, you want them gossiping good about you specifically, especially if you want to make money. Quality connections beats quantity rides every time, and you don't have to rely on the rideshare platforms. Now, why would they want to choose you over the Uber apps? Well, one way they will want to choose you is referrals. Like I said, word of mouth, especially if it's from like a person they trust. Like, oh man, John told us about you, man. We take John's word for everything. Boom. John then got you like 2 or 3 more clients just for telling them you provided good quality service and your prices was good. So the referrals and quality service go hand in hand. Quality service leads to referrals. That's the best way I can put it. And if you're on social media showing people who you are and what you do, that adds social proof. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of like built a relationship with you without actually knowing you or talking to you. Now, what 120-hour clients really buy? So they not just people that could afford the 120 an hour range or afford your services. If it's 120 an hour, they paying for an experience. They paying for a quality of service, high class treatment. They not just buying transportation. They not just wanting to ride. They want the full package. That means you need to be opening the doors, having car amenities, knowing how to read body language, but having good recommendations whenever they ask. So it's an experience. It's a high class treatment they paying for. So know that. That's why I said, if you're charging 100 to 120 an hour, you kind of got to know your stuff as a driver. Everything matters whenever you're dealing with high income tax bracket people. How they arrive matter. That's why I said you kind of basically got to dress them up to make them look good. You adding that touch of class makes them look better, which leads to more money. It makes you more money, and also it gets you tipped very well. And also they buying, comfort, trust, professionalism, all of those things. They buying all of that rather than just getting on the app, because getting on the app, they can get multiple drivers, multiple different people. Every driver not going to have the same quality of service and also driving experience or driving professionalism. That's the best way I can say it. Each driver different, each quality of service is going to be different. So them booking you for your 120 an hour service, they're going to expect that premium service. And here's the thing about it. They're going to be willing to pay for it. So at the end of the day, everybody be happy. You happy as the driver, they happy as the customers. Now, the abundance mindset. Y'all, here's the thing about the rideshare business. And this is if you're an app-based driver, it's never going to always be busy 24/7. This is why I say you got to step outside of them and start, taking risks and getting yourself out there, putting yourself out there, whether that's via social media, whether that's going to luxury events, networking with people, whether that's walking up to people yourself and selling them your service. It's multiple ways you can do it. But whenever things slow down on the rideshare platforms, even with your private clientele, let's say you're new to the business, you just getting started, you got 3 to 4 clients. Okay, cool. Sometimes that slow down. What you need to do whenever it gets slow, and I'm talking about you watching this video right now, you bone dry, you don't have no clientele, Uber and Lyft is slow, go to the high luxury places, whether that be a coffee shop, a hotel, a restaurant, whatever. Start talking to the staff. It starts with them because they talk with hundreds of people per day. Let them know, hey, if you know anybody that need any type of luxury driving services, let me know. Give them a business card. Get their number. Check in with them every day. Do what you got to do. You're going to go target luxury high-end events. Try to find people that got access to high net worth individuals. Whether that's real estate, corporate execs, sporting events like athletes and stuff. Just put yourself out there. You got to take risks. That's the best way I can put it. Whenever this rideshare business is slow, it's a quantity game. Even if you're doing well, still a quantity game, because one thing about this business, it can get slow very quickly. So having a quantity mindset when it comes to, scaling, as far as putting yourself out there, you will always win. And I want to make myself very clear. I'm not saying having a quantity mindset on the rideshare platform. I'm saying having a quantity mindset as far as putting yourself out there. Always look for new ways to network and expand your brand and your business. So that means talking to more people and putting yourself out there. That leads to more conversions. So when it comes to targeting in person, like I said, target the luxury businesses, people that got access to these high net worth individuals, not random people. Because the worst thing you can do is build a private clientele of brokies. Now you're really going to be negotiating your prices on, servicing them. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Like I said, the concept is simple. Don't overcomplicate it. What you need to start doing right now, for all you drivers out there that's waiting at the airport looking goofy on Netflix, on your phone, tablet, iPad, doom scrolling. Stop doing that. Stop doing that shit. Get on social media. Go to like a nice little luxury place or luxury business in your city, your market, and start filming some content. That's one way of doing it. Start going to some events, networking. Start small. I know a lot of y'all be shy. Y'all scared to talk to people. Y'all got the scarcity mindset or fear mindset of, oh man, they're going to tell me no. Well, you can't be scared of that. I got told no a lot. I still get told no a lot. But I guarantee you, the best way I can put it, them no's lead to a lot of yeses. And it eventually pays off. Plus, you build or you exercise a muscle of not being scared or fearful of anything, or not having a scarcity mindset. So I want y'all to stop waiting at the airport, put yourself out there, target high net worth individuals. You're going to do that by going to luxury places and have the mindset of quantity when it comes to scaling. More conversations you have, the more conversions you get, period. That means the more people you talk to, the higher chance you got to building and scaling a private clientele. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all today. If y'all have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video. And also, the people that have been asking, I got mentorships. I tell y'all all the time, y'all want access to the mentorships. It's in the link in the bio. I only got one slot left, 2 slots filled right now. So once that one slot or the last slot is filled, I'm not working with nobody else. But if that slot do get filled, I also have the Rideshare Blueprint, which is just another product that shows you how to actually utilize the rideshare business. It's a shortcut to understanding the logistics. Sorry. So if y'all want access to either of those products, the link is in my bio for that. With that being said, y'all, I'll catch y'all next video.